Impact isn't enough. You are meant to prosper from it. I want you to really think about that one as we talk about it today. Hi, my name's Steve Kidd. I am a third generation minister, international best-selling author of 39 books and counting. I've had the amazingly wonderful privilege of working with nearly 5,000 people, helping them write, publish, market their books to bestseller, and everything that goes beyond that. And what I'm really here to do is to help you find that powerful clarity and then live in it, to be the person that you're meant to be, to make the difference in this world that only you can make, to change the world by just simply showing up every day in the day that's called today as you. That is not only just important, it's absolutely mandatory. It is totally the absolute best thing that you can do. And it is absolutely the thing that I encourage you to really truly spend your time really focused on every day, is showing up in the world and being you, because you are important. You are absolutely necessary. And I really appreciate the time that we get to spend together today. I want to encourage and challenge us both. I want you to know that this live is as much for me as it is for you, because it's real easy. And some of you have even read my book on radical generosity called How Can I Help You Today? And I absolutely believe that. And I totally believe in the whole concept of giving, as a way of living. Giving not so that you can see what you can do with it, not so that you can get what you want to get out of it, but giving radically, giving as a lifestyle and an element, to make the difference, to be the impact, to be the you that you were created to be in this world, and do the things in this world that only you can do. I absolutely believe in all of that. But I need to encourage you, and myself as well, that we're not just here to just make an impact. We are actually here to prosper. Prospering has so much more to do than what the balance in the bank account is. And I'm not saying that that doesn't mean that you shouldn't have a bank account balance, but I am saying that that is a very, very poor judge of whether or not we're really truly prospering in what we're doing. And yes, impact is one of those elements. The making the difference in somebody's life, the really helping somebody find the solution for the thing that they've been struggling for, is absolutely one of the elements of prosperity. The other part of that, though, is about really, really, it has more than anything to do with your mindset, with the concept of whether you think you can or you think you can't. You're right. The things that you think about are the things that you're growing towards. Whatever you focus on grows. Okay. And so when I talk about you prospering, I'm really talking about you going from to in a positive type of direction. That doesn't mean that there aren't going to be hiccups in the road, bad days, difficult times, but it does mean that you are taking on the challenge of being the best you that you can be in the day that's called today. Does that make sense? You see, really, truly, being a healthy person is not about some kind of mystical normalcy. So often we hear people talk about, well, that's what normal people do, or, well, we do that because it's normal, or that's normal, those kind of things. And I want to blow that holy cow out of the water for you right now, because there is no such thing as normal. Normal is you doing what you're meant to do in this world in the day that's called today. Normal is you waking up in the morning and figuring out what's the best that you can do. We talked yesterday about, sometimes the best you can do for today is rest. And sometimes the best thing that you can do is to be happy and to smile. Sometimes the best that you can do is to believe. I love the phrase, joy is not the happiness and giddiness, But joy is the ability to believe in the light in the darkest of all times. You can live in a place of joy because you can still know and believe that things are going to get better, even in the difficult times. And yes, I'm absolutely talking to myself as well as to you. I want us all to really understand, yes, you are making an impact, probably more than you realize, probably much, much more than you realize. And you're also meant to prosper. You're also meant to have a good life. And there are so many things in that. Everything from as simple as when I get done here, I'm going to go out and I'm going to take a walk and I'm going to enjoy the sun on my face. It's a beautiful day outside, according to my computer right here. And I don't know whether it's right or wrong or even in my right neighborhood, but it says it's 72 degrees outside. It's supposed to be windy tomorrow, but today it's, just a very light breeze. Beautiful day to go for a walk and just really enjoy the sun on my face. And I'm looking forward to that. And that is a way of your soul prospering. Getting to be able to help somebody is like I said, that's part of it. That great feeling you feel inside when you help somebody else. And yes, some of that has to do with the fact, and I was dealing with that with, one of my business partners even today, is being okay with making money. And I think sometimes we really struggle with that. I know I do. It's really easy to help other people. I've often said, I'm pretty great at, well, I don't feel like this is as true as it's been the whole rest of my life. It's been a rough year, guys, just in case you didn't know that. Very, very down rough year. But, I always look out for the people that work for me. I'm pretty horrible, really honestly, at paying me, at taking good care of myself. Part of all the weight that I have gained and have now worked on losing is that whole element of being really good at taking care of everybody else and not taking good care of me. And we need to understand that along with our desire and that we're created to make an impact is all of us, the holistic whole you prospering, good health, yes, good wealth, good life, true joy in what you're doing, the ability to, yes, see people and have their lives be changed and impacted, but also have your life be changed and impacted. I know you. I'm just like you. You've given freely, you've spoken deeply, you've shared truths, you've gone out on the short, skinny branch in a way that is sometimes terrifying. Just sharing and doing and being the person that you know you're meant to be. Now is the time, and I'm declaring this over us both. And it doesn't matter whether you're listening right here now live or you're on the replay. Please do comment, and say, hey, I'd love to, comment back to you. But whenever you're listening to this, it's showing up exactly in your life, exactly when you need it, to tell you now is the time for all of this that you've given, everything that you've done to sustain you. I want you to grab a hold of that. Hold on to it close. Oh, believe it. See yourself. See the vision. Some of you did the mirror work with me for a couple of weeks there. And my mantra, if you will, was everything that has been promised is happening right now. And we need to believe that. We need to see not just that we can dream, but that those dreams are actually coming true. And that starts from belief. And that's the tough part. I'll be really brutally honest with you. That's the hard part. Believing in the things that we can't see is what's difficult. It's real easy to believe that you're blessed and prosperous and doing wonderfully well in the world when things are going well. That's pretty easy. But when it's been a tough year, when it's been a tough day, when it's been a tough week, when things that you can see, that you can put your hands on, don't appear as though you're actually prospering, that's when you're really in belief, is when you can still see, I have made the impact, and now is the time for me to prosper. That's where you're meant to live. That's what you're meant to be in. And now is the time. And again, like you said, I'm preaching this to me more than anybody else, but now is the time to really, truly embrace it and live in that place, to live in that truth and that reality that you are blessed, that all of these things that you see and believe and dream of and you teach others, that they're also meant for you. I want that for you, but I would really like for, whatever the right way of saying that is, for you to really be able to embrace that. Visibility. We've talked for months now about being visible and valuable. Visibility is the entrance to the journey of being valuable, impactful, but also to income. When people don't know what you're doing, how can they possibly hire you, work with you, do the things? And you need to see and give yourself credit for all of the things, big and little, and live in that space and own them and really truly take it in. We created a group. It's called Visibility Amplifier. If you go to visibilityamplifier.com, we want to encourage you in there. We don't want to be, like way up here on the mountain peak going, look at how wonderful our lives are. Maybe someday yours could be. How many of you have had coaches like that? I had a coach one time. I literally paid this particular person $18,000. I know, ouch, right? Well, let me make that a little clearer to you. I paid her my last $18,000. I had trying to remember exactly, but less than $10. I think it was $5 or $7. I want to say 7 to my name. Had paid her. Okay. And at the time, I was in the process of selling the house that we were living in. And just to skip forward in the story, that was late August, early September. The house didn't sell until we moved out of there the 1st of January. Okay, so several more months after that. But the house was up for sale, and there was an open house that day. And I had 2 of the kids still living with me at that point. And $7. And it was dinner time. And the open house was going to go for several hours. So I had to not only leave the house, and leave the house having left it clean, as well as, you couldn't make a quick meal because you didn't want the house to smell like whatever, you wanted it to just smell fresh and clean. And then figure out dinner on $7. Fortunately, at that point in time, McDonald's or Taco Bell, I think we went to Taco Bell. I think at that point, tacos were like 39 or 49 cents, and we sat there. And while we were sitting there, we actually watched this coach celebrating the brand new house that they had bought and the pool party that they were having and all of their friends and their grilling steaks. And they went on for like an hour showing off all their things. Now, I'm not dissing this person. They need to live in that place and live and rejoice and celebrate. Okay? But I also want to acknowledge how that felt. And I know some of you have felt that way too, where you see the prosperity, the prosperousness, the successes of that coach, of that person. And whether you're talking about a Tony Robbins or an Oprah Winfrey, or you're talking about somebody, like Molly Mahoney or others that I've worked with or have been blessed, Lisa Nichols, others like that. Or maybe you're talking about somebody whose name I don't know at all, that, just happens to be there in your local community, but's really killing it and really getting it done. And it's easy to live in that green-eyed monster jealousy space of what's happening in their life. And it's also real easy to judge ourselves and say, well, I'm not at that level. What am I doing wrong? I feel that. I know that. I get it. And it's hard to watch those videos. And inside of Visibility Amplifier, we're not there to try to show off and brag all the things. In fact, everything that we've created with the organization that we're in the process of setting up, that's called Zaraz International, it's designed under the philosophy of, the old saying, rising tide raises all boats. We want to create an environment where you can raise to whatever level you're willing to dream of, believe, and achieve. I want that for you. Yeah, I'm excited about and claiming that the property here in Milton Vale that we will, that it will be ours, and that we can build an incredible multi-million-dollar recording studio, turn it into a great place of learning that we can help people who really want better lives for their kids and their family to come to a safe place and have great education. We have so many cool ideas for that, retreats and events and all that kind of stuff. And it's designed on purpose, not so that we can then sit on our grand stuff. I thought of the name of a particular building that a person built, and I intentionally didn't say that. That's kind of why I paused there. We want it to be something that isn't our look at me trophy, but rather is, for all of us, a place that we can come and do the things that we're meant to do and really live the life that we're meant to live and make a real impact. And Milton Vale isn't the only place we want to do this. We want to duplicate it all around the entire world, going into small communities, forgotten areas, and help them really be the them that they really are inside. There just isn't the people or the money or the things or the infrastructure there. And I believe in that. I think that's really where our world needs to go right now, is to a place where, we do have powerful, strong little communities and where places can be safe again. It's not dissing the big cities. I just don't think they're working. It's my own personal opinion. And I think we need more community and less metropolitan-y, which I know isn't a word, but that could be the one that we use for today. And we want you to be part of it. So go to visibilityamplifier.com, hop in. We do have our 14-day Say It Anyway sprint. And I do encourage you, just drop the message, drop me a message. Hey, I want to be in the Say It Anyway sprint. It's 14 days. It's work at your own pace. I am going to give you a little micro win. We want to just work on micro wins. Okay. And I've created a founding, starting people special for that. That's way lower than what it should be, to help you out. Go to visibilityamplifier.com. Come join us. And remember, it is okay. You are meant to prosper even as you make the impact. Okay? I want you to believe that. Your story is sacred, and it's also allowed to be successful. Please believe that. Take it in. Myself included. We need to all embrace this. I'm so grateful for you. Thanks for joining me here today. I hope that you really, truly are happy, you're safe, you're warm and loved. And then until we're together again next time, you have an amazingly great week.